First question. Which of the following statements regarding lumpy skin disease are correct? Lumpy skin disease is caused by lumpy skin disease virus of Capripox genus in the Poxyviridae family in cattle and buffaloes. It spreads through mosquito, flies, and ticks and also through saliva and contaminated water and food. Lumpy skin disease virus has origin in Africa, but this is the third straight year in which LSD outbreaks have been recently reported in Gujarat. LSD is endemic to Africa and parts of Western Asia. In India, it was first reported from Mayurbhanj, Odisha in 2019. There is no treatment for the virus, so prevention by vaccination is resorted to. The goat pox vaccine gives cattle and buffaloes protection against LSD. Question number 2. Consider the following statements. Cotton leaf curl disease is a viral disease of plants caused by white fly attacks. Second one, in cotton leaf curl disease, leaves of infected cotton curls inward, both upward and downward. Cotton leaf curl disease is a viral disease that affects the overall growth of the cotton plant and hits its yield. Leaves are infected. Leaves of infected cotton curls both upward and downward. A recent survey conducted by teams of Project Bandhan, which was launched by South Asia Biotechnology Center to control the attack of pink bollworm, noticed the leaf cotton leaf curl disease across Mansa, Bathinda, and Fazilka district of Haryana and Ganganagar and Hanumangarh district of Rajasthan. South Asia Biotechnology Center (SABC), along with the Central Institute of Cotton Research, State Agricultural Universities, is running a large-scale project called Project Bandhan to stop the spread of pink bollworm disease in 16 districts of 7 major cotton growing states. Question number 3. Patient Provider Support Agency (PPSA) model recently seen in the news is associated with which of the following disease? To control answer, tuberculosis. Patient Provider Support Agency project, it focuses on implementing TB prevention and uh, treatment interventions with extensive government support, thereby marking an important milestone in the health sector for scaled up sustainable program. Question number 4. Consider the following statement regarding monkeypox. Monkeypox belongs to orthopox virus, which is a genus of virus that also includes the variola virus, which causes smallpox. It is an enveloped double-stranded DNA virus, unlike the RNA virus. This makes it far more stable and less prone to rapid mutation. There are two distinct genetic clades of the monkeypox virus: the Central African Congo Basin clade and Western African clade. The Congo Basin clade has historically caused more severe disease and was thought to be more transmissible. Question number 5. Consider the following statement regarding National Anti-Doping Bill. It aims to make National Anti-Doping Agency a statutory authority. The bill establishes a national board for anti-doping in sports to make recommendations to the government on anti-doping regulation and compliance with international commitment on anti-doping. Under the National Anti sorry, under the National Anti-Doping Agency Under this, National Anti-Doping Agency can publicly disclose certain information related to the athlete if the anti-doping rule is violated. The agency will also have the power to collect certain personal data of athletes such as gender, medical history, whereabouts information of the athletics. The agency will prescribe the procedure for collection and usage, processing, and disclosure of the personal data. It will publicly disclose certain information such as name of the athlete, anti-doping rule violated, and consequence imposed. The bill establishes a national board for anti-doping in sports to make recommendations to the government on anti-doping regulation and compliance with international commitments on anti-doping. Only France, the US, China, and Japan have their own anti-doping laws. Question number 6. Consider the following statement regarding foodborne pathogen survey network. It is an integrated task force that monitors foodborne enteric disease outbreaks and conducts intensified systematic laboratory based surveillance in northeastern states. The Indian Council of Medical Research (ICMR) has inaugurated Foodborne Pathogen Survey Network in the northeastern states of India. It is the beginning of a unique public health initiative in the northeast. This latest initiative is part of the project started by ICMR in 2020. The integrated task force coordinates project based activity camping, monitor foodborne enteric disease outbreaks, and conducts intensified systematic laboratory based surveillance in four northeast Indian states in collaboration with research and medical institution and food sector. Question number 7. Consider the following statement regarding Pharmacopoeia Commission for Indian Medicine and Homeopathy. Recently, the Government of India established Pharmacopoeia Commission for Indian Medicine and Homeopathy as a subordinate office under the Ministry of Ayush. The commission was initially established as Pharmacopoeia Commission for Indian Medicine in 2010 and was registered under Societies Registration Act 1860. Later in the same year, PCIM and H is now created by merging the Pharmacopoeia Commission of Indian Medicine and Homeopathy and the two central laboratories, namely Pharmacopoeia Laboratory for Indian Medicine, Ghaziabad, and Pharmacopoeia Laboratory. The Commission is engaged in the development of pharmacopoeial standard for Ayurvedic, Unani, Siddha, homeopathic drugs. Question number 8. Consider the following statement. Black death is caused by bacteria called Yersinia pestis. Question number 9. Consider the following. Recently, an indigenous vaccine named ProVac was launched in order to provide immunity against lumpy skin disease. Union Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare launched the indigenous vaccine Lumpy ProVac to protect livestock from lumpy skin disease. The vaccine has been developed by the National Equine Research Center, HISAR, in collaboration with the Indian Veterinary Research Institute, Izzatnagar. Lumpy skin disease is an infectious disease in the cattle caused by virus of the family Poxviridae, also known as Neethling virus. Question number 10. FASTag use which of the following technologies? Answer: radio frequency identification. It is a device that uses radio frequency identification technology to make toll payments directly from the prepaid account linked to it. It is affixed on the windscreen of the vehicle and enables it to drive through toll plazas without waiting. The tag has a validity of 5 years and after purchase it only needs to be recharged and top up. The service applies to all kinds of vehicles, but the use of the service is currently voluntary. Question number 11. Consider the following statements regarding face recognition technology. 3D face recognition is a modality of facial recognition methods in which the three-dimensional geometry of the human face is used. It has been shown that 3D face recognition methods can achieve significantly higher accuracy than their 2D counterparts, rivaling fingerprint recognition. 3D research is enhanced by the development of sophisticated sensors that do the better job of capturing 3D face imagery. The sensory work by projecting structured light onto the face. Up to a dozen or more of these image sensors can be placed on the same COMS chip. Each sensor captures a different part of the spectrum. 3D face recognition has the potential to achieve better accuracy than its 2D counterpart by measuring the geometry of rigid features on the face. This avoids such pitfalls of 2D face recognition algorithms as a change in lighting, different facial expression, makeup, head orientation. Another approach is to use the 2D model to improve the accuracy of traditional image based recognition by transforming the head into a known view. Additionally, most 3D scanners require both a 3D mesh and the corresponding texture. This allows combining the output of pure 3D matches with the more traditional 2D face recognition algorithms. Thus, its better performance. The main technological limitations of 3D face recognition method is the acquisition of the 3D image, which usually requires a range of camera. Question number 12. Consider the following statement regarding therapeutic cloning. There are two types of cloning: reproductive cloning and therapeutic cloning. Reproductive cloning is a product of genetical duplication of an existing organism. Therapeutic cloning basically has the same procedure as reproductive cloning but with different results and goals. The goal of the therapeutic cloning is to study human development and treat disease by harvesting stem cells. The major benefit of therapeutic cloning is that the cells removed are pluripotent. Pluripotent cells can give rise to all cells in the body with the exception of the embryo. This means that pluripotent cells can potentially treat disease in any body organ or tissue by replacing damaged and dysfunctional cells. Another distinct advantage of this type of therapy is that the risk of immunological rejection is elevated because the patient's own genetic material is used. If a cell line were created with cells from another individual, the patient's body would be more likely to recognize the foreign proteins and then wage an attack on the transplanted cell. Question number 13. Consider the following statement regarding Japanese encephalitis. Japanese encephalitis is caused by flavivirus affecting membranes around the brain cell. Pig act as an amplifying host in case of Japanese encephalitis. The virus circulates in air-dined bird, heron, or egret. Pigs are amplifying hosts in that the virus reproduces in pigs and infects mosquitoes that take blood meal but do not cause disease. Question number 14. Consider the following statement regarding trans fat. Naturally occurring trans fat come from ruminants. Manufacturers often use them as they have a longer shelf life and are cheaper than other fats. Recently, FSSAI issued a revised regulation according to which food products using edible oil and fats as an ingredient shall not contain industrial trans fats more than 2% by mass of total oils or fats present in the product on and from 1st January 2022. Trans fats or trans fatty acids are unsaturated fatty acids that come from either natural or industrial source. Naturally occurring trans fats come from ruminants, cows, and sheep. Industrially produced trans fats are formed in an industrial process that adds hydrogen to vegetable oil, converting the liquid into a solid, resulting in partially hydrogenated oil. Industrial produced trans fats are found uh, in hardened vegetable fats such as margarine and ghee. and are often present in snack foods, baked foods, and fried foods. Manufacturers often use them as they have a longer shelf life and are cheaper than other fats. They are more unhealthy than saturated fats as they increase bad cholesterol, that is low density lipoprotein, and lower good cholesterol, that is high density lipoprotein. Question number 15. Human angiotensin converter to enzyme recently seen in news in context of it acts as an entry site to the SARS-CoV-2 virus in the body. Recently, a report from Wuhan University presented as a research study that a single molecular change in the lab enable a coronavirus or NeoCov to efficiently infect human cells using the same pathway that SARS-CoV uses to infect human cells. NeoCov has so far only been seen in bats and no instances have been reported in people but is closely related to Middle Eastern respiratory syndrome coronavirus. SARS-CoV-2 utilizes the enzyme called human angiotensin converter 2, that is HACE2, to infect cells. The scientists reported that they have for the first time shown NeoCov2 uses bat ACE2. Question number 16. Consider the following statement regarding BrahMos. BrahMos missile is the first supersonic cruise missile system known to be in service, developed as a part of joint venture between India and Russia. The missile derives its name from names of two rivers, namely Brahmaputra of India and Moskva of Russia. The missile is capable of carrying a conventional as well as a nuclear warhead. It is a multi-stage missile having a solid propellant in the first stage and ramjet liquid propellant in the second stage. It is the world's fastest cruise missile of its class. It can be launched from land, sea, sub-sea, or air and has an original strike range of up to 290 km. It is a medium-range ramjet supersonic cruise missile capable of being launched from submarine warship, fighter jets, or land. However, the range of the missile can be extended up to 400 km as certain technical restrictions were lifted after India became full member of Missile Technology Control Regime in 2018. As per MTCR, Missile Technology Control Regime, systems can carry a 500 kg payload for at least 300 kilometers. India became 35th country to join the region. Question number 17. Consider the following statements regarding the bud rot or basal stem rot. The disease is caused on coconut palm. The bud rot or basal rot of coconut is known by several names in different parts of India. Ganoderma wilt in Andhra Pradesh, Anaberoga in Karnataka, Tanjavur wilt in Tamil Nadu. It is caused by fungus Ganoderma zonatum. The infection begins at the root, but symptoms include discoloration, rotting of stems and leaves. In the later stages, the flowering and nuts set decreases, and finally, the coconut palm dies. This causes huge loss in India, affecting around 12 million people who depend on coconut farming. Question number 18. The term priority pathogen is sometimes seen in news. Which of the following correctly describes this? It is the list of pathogens designated by World Health Organization as an antimicrobial resistant causing organism. In 2017, the World Health Organization published a list of global priority pathogens, 12 species of bacteria with a critical high and medium antibiotic resistance, whilst all seven of the leading bacteria have been identified as priority pathogens by the World Health Organization. Only two have been focusing on major global health intervention programs that are S. pneumonia, primarily through pneumococcal vaccination and mycobacterial tuberculosis. A recent study, a global research on antimicrobial resistance report published in The Lancet, has shown that as many as 4.95 million deaths may be associated with the bacterial antimicrobial resistance in 2019. Estimates included in the paper show that antimicrobial resistance is a leading cause of death globally, higher than HIV or malaria. Question number 19. The Global Research on Antimicrobial Resistance report was recently published by based on estimates from 2004 countries and territories. The Global Research on Antimicrobial Resistance report published in the Lancet on Thursday provides the most comprehensive estimates of the global impact of antimicrobial resistance so far. GRAM, that is Global Research on Antimicrobial Resistance, is led out of the University of Oxford Big Data Institute. IHME Strategic Partnership. IHME is the Institute for Health Metrics. Question number 20. Consider the following statement regarding National Education Alliance for Technology System, that is NEAT system. It aims to bring the best technological solutions in education by a public-private partnership model between the government and the education technology companies of India. This scheme is launched by Ministry of Education. The Ministry of Education has announced a National Education Alliance for Technology as a public-private partnership model between the government through its implementing agency AICTE and the educational technology companies of India. Question number 21. The advanced chemistry cells or cells that can store electric energy either as electrochemical or as chemical energy. Question number 22. Consider the following statement regarding polymetallic nodulus program. It aims to explore technologies for metal extraction under deep seabed from the Indian Ocean basin allocated to India. India's polymetallic nodule program is oriented towards the exploration and development of technologies for harnessing nodules from the central Indian Ocean basin allotted to India. India has entered into a 15-year contract with the International Seabed Authority in the year 2002 for pursuing developmental activities for polymetallic nodules in the Indian Ocean. Ministry of Earth Science is the nodal agency for this. Question number 23. Consider the following pairs. Autotransplantation is from one part of the body to another in the same person. Xenotransplantation or a heterologous transplant is the transplantation of living cell tissue or organ from one species to another, like between humans and animals. Such cells, tissue or organ is called xenografts or xenotransplants. It is a contrast with allotransplantation, that is from another individuals of the same species. Syngenic transplantation or isotransplantation, that is grafts transplanted between two genetically identical individuals of the same species. And autotransplantation, it is from one part of the body to another in the same person. Question number 24. Consider the following statements which are correct. Organ donation in India is regulated by the Transplantation of Human Organ and Tissue Act 1994. The National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization (NATO) functions as the apex body for activities relating to the procurement, allotment, and distribution of organs in the country. Both are correct. Question number 25. Consider the following statement regarding African swine fever. African swine fever is the highly contagious and fatal zoonotic disease. The disease has a case fatality rate of almost 100%. Currently, there is no approved vaccine for this. Question number 26. Consider the following statements regarding enzymes. They speed up reaction without themselves being consumed during the reaction. The enormous catalytic activity of enzymes is denoted by turnover frequency. It was believed that all enzymes were proteins, but in the 1980s it was found that some ribonucleic acid molecules are also able to exert catalytic effect. These RNAs, which are called ribozymes, play an important role in gene expression. Question number 27. Consider the following statements regarding pero, sorry, peroxyl oxyacyl nitrates PAN. PANs can cause reduced respiratory function and eye irritation in humans. In the warmer areas, PANs persist only for a few hours. The term secondary pollutants are applied to pollutants that are formed as a result of chemical reaction of the primary gaseous pollutants in the atmosphere. Peroxyacyl nitrates or PANs, which are also referred to as acyl peroxynitrates or APN, are a component of photochemical smog produced in the atmosphere when oxidized volatile organic compounds combine with nitrogen dioxide. PANs are secondary pollutants since they form in the atmosphere after the emission of primary pollutants. Source of pollutants required to create PANs include motor vehicles, tobacco smoke, burning of fossil fuels. PANs can PANs have many adverse effects on the human body such as reduced respiratory function including emphysema and impaired breathing and eye irritation. Human exposure to PAN typically occurs in urban centers where automobile and industrial emissions are high. Question number 28. Which among the following make use of phenomena of diffuse light? Answer: fog lamps, growing crops in greenhouses, photography. Application of diffuse light: photographers uses the principle of diffuse light to create pictures with vivid details because there are no sharp shadows to distract attention. On sunny day, they use light diffusers to create soft shadows. Horticulturalists are now discovering that diffuse light creates a better growing environment in greenhouses. It allows for a greater horizontal spread of light and exposes the midleaf layer to light. Drivers find the wet road with a greater glare than dry road because the cracks and surface on the road surface fill up with water creating smooth surface. This result in specular reflection that creates an annoying glare. Fog lamps try to make use of principle of diffuse light to provide a safer beam. Question number 29. Consider the following statements with respect to hepatitis C. Hepatitis C is spread through contact with blood from an infected person. Hepatitis C is an inflammation of the liver caused by the hepatitis C virus. Hepatitis C is an inflammation of the liver caused by the hepatitis C virus. The virus can cause both acute and chronic hepatitis, ranging in severity from mild illness to a serious lifelong illness, including liver cirrhosis, and cancer. The hepatitis C virus is a blood-borne virus, and most infections occur through exposure to blood from unsafe injection practices, unsafe health care, unscreened blood transfusion, injection drug use. Question number 30. Consider the following statements regarding QRSAM. It is an indigenous development short range surface to air missile. The missile strike range is 25 to 30 km. It is an all weather weapon system capable of tracking and firing. Question number 31. Consider the following statements. The Food Safety and Standard Authority of India (FSSAI) has capped the amount of trans fatty acids in oil and fats to 3% by 2021 and 2% by 2022. World Health Organization replaced initiative to make global food market trans fat free by 2023. Question number 32. Which of the following are gene editing technologies? Answer: Tanlens, ZFNs, CRISPR. The core technologies now most commonly used in facilitate genome editing shown are clustered, regular, clustered regularly interspaced short pandemic repeats, that is CRISPR. It's associated with 9 CAS9 transcription activator like effector nucleases, that is Stanlens, zinc finger nucleases ZFNs, homing endonucleases or meganuclease. Question number 33. 3D printing can be used for which of the following? Preparing a foodstuff in bakery, making robotic prosthetic limbs, manufacturing automotive parts. Question number 34. Consider the following statement regarding quarks. Quarks are fundamental building blocks of matter and cannot be further subdivided. While converting energy into mass, accelerators produce heavier and short-lived quarks through particle collision. Question number 35. The International HapMap project is associated with creating a catalog of common genetic variant called single nucleotide polymorphism. Question number 36. Consider the following statement with respect to neutrinos. Neutrinos are formed by the process of nuclear fission. Neutrinos first proposed by Swiss scientist Wolfgang Pauli in 1930. Neutrinos has been in existence since the beginning of the universe. Neutrinos are the second most abundant particles in the universe after photons. Neutrinos are charged particles and are nearly massless. Neutrinos are not found inside atom or nuclei. These are fundamental particles belonging to lepton family. They come in three flavors, one associated with electrons, the others with their heavier cousin the muon and tau. They are formed during the process of nuclear fusion in the sun. Nuclear fusion in the sun. Question number 37. Which of the following are antioxidants as well as food preservatives? Answer: butylated hydroxyanisole BHA, butylated hydroxytoluene BHT. Question number 38. Consider the following statement regarding colistin. Colistin has been banned by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare due to its overuse in Indian poultry. Question number 39. Consider the following statement with respect to antibiotics. An antibiotic refers to a substance produced wholly or partly by chemical synthesis which in low concentration inhibits the growth and destroys microorganisms by intervening in their metabolic process. Penicillin is an bactericidal antibiotic. Cidal is killing effect. Static is inhibitory effect. Question number 40. Consider the following statement regarding mitochondria. They are stored outside of the cell's nucleus. Mitochondria are organelles that have vital function in our lives. They produce the majority of energy that our cells needed in order to function. Mitochondria have another important characteristics. In human and animal cells, they are the only location of DNA outside the nucleus. Our mitochondrial DNA accounts for a small portion of our total DNA. It contains just 37 of the 20,000 to 25,000 protein coding genes in our body, but it is notably distinct from DNA in the nucleus. Unlike nuclear DNA, which comes from both parents, mitochondrial DNA comes only from the mother. Question number 41. Consider the following statement. The hardness of water can be removed by boiling it and treating it with chemicals such as washing soda. Question number 42. Consider the following statements regarding protein. Animal products contain all the essential amino acids but not plant proteins. Proteins are made up of amino acids and function as hormone, enzyme, and an antibody in the immune system. They make up parts of bodily structure like connective tissue, skin, hair, and muscle fibers. Unlike carbs, proteins don't serve as a direct source of energy but work like building blocks for other structures in the body. The nutritional value of protein is measured by number of essential amino acids that it contains, which varies depending on the food source. Question number 43. Bacterial and fungal enzymes degrade detritus into simpler inorganic substance. This process is called as catabolism. Question number 44. Which of the following are benefits of food irradiation? Answer: prevention of foodborne illness, control of insects, sterilization. Question number 45. Consider the following statement regarding herbicide tolerant variety of BT cotton. In India, Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee under the Environment Ministries assess the safety of the genetically modified plant and decide whether it fit for cultivation. BT cotton remains the only GM crop allowed to be cultivated in the country. BT cotton, developed by US giant Bayer Monsanto. It involves the insertion of two genes, namely Cry1AB and Cry2BC, from the soil bacterium Bacillus thuringiensis into cotton seeds. This modification coats the plant to produce the protein toxic to heli- he- Heliothes bollworm, that is pink bollworm, thus making it resistant to their attack. The commercial release of this hybrid was sanctioned by the government in 2002. Hybrid variety of BT cotton. This variety involves the addition of another gene, CP4 EPSPS, from another soil bacterium, Agrobacterium tumefaciens. It is not cleared by GEAC. The farmers claim that HDBT variety can withstand the spray of glyphosate, a herbicide that can be used to remove weeds, and thus it sustainably saves them the weeding cost. Question number 46. Consider the following statement. The change in apparent pitches of siren and frequency of sound waves emitted by speeding vehicles is an example of redshift. In physics, redshift happens when light or other electromagnetic radiation from an object is increased in wavelength and shifted to the red end of the spectrum. Some redshift are an example of Doppler effect, familiar with the change of apparent pitches of siren and frequency of the sound waves emitted by speeding vehicles. A redshift occurs whenever a light source moves away from an observer. A special instance of this is the cosmological redshift, which is due to the expansion of the universe. Question number 47. PCR stands for polymerase chain reaction. In this reaction, multiple copies of the gene or DNA of interest are synthesized in vitro using two sets of primers and enzyme DNA polymerase. Which of the function of primers is RT in RT-PCR? They help to provide enzyme to find a starting point of DNA synthesis. PCR stands for polymerase chain reaction. In this reaction, multiple copies of gene of interest are synthesized in vitro using two sets of primers. Small chemical synthesized oligonucleotides that are complementary to the region of DNA and the enzyme DNA polymerase. A primer is short nucleic acid sequence that provides a starting point for DNA synthesis. In living organisms, primers are short stranded of RNA. Primer must be synthesized by an enzyme called primase, which is a type of RNA polymerase before DNA replication can occur. The synthesis of primer is necessary because the enzyme that synthesize DNA, which are called DNA polymerase, can only attach new DNA nucleotides to an existing strands of nucleotide. The primer therefore serves to prime and lay the foundation for DNA synthesis. The primer is removed before DNA replication is complete and the gaps in the sequence will filled with DNA by DNA polymerase. Question number 48. Consider the following statements. The two types of pollination known as self-pollination and cross-pollination. Allogamy, xenogamy are two types of cross-pollination that occurs during the sexual reproduction of higher plants. The main difference between allogamy and xenogamy is that allogamy is the deposition of pollen grains from the anther of one flower on the stigma of another flower, either in the same plant or in a different plant of the same species, whereas xenogamy is the deposition of pollen grains from anther of one flower on the stigma of genetically different flower of the same species. Question number 49. Consider the following phenomenon happen due to osmosis. Earthworm dying on coming in contact with salt. Carbon dioxide diffusion. Carbon dioxide is used by aquatic plants to prepare food by photosynthesis, and oxygen is used by aquatic animals for breathing. Yes, and yes, the spread of the virus on sealing is also because of diffusion. Question number 50. Consider the following statement regarding Pinaka. Pinaka is a multiple rocket launcher. These are developed by Defense Research and Development Organization. The rocket system is named after Pinaka, the bow of Lord Shiva. It was initially 30 to 40 kilometer range rocket. Its range is increased 70 to 80 kilometer with Pinaka Mark II. Question number 51. Consider the following statement regarding National Health Resource Repository, that is NHRR. It is an registry of authentic, standardized, and updated geospatial data of all public and private health. ISRO is the project technology partner for providing data security. Question number 52. Reciprocal logistics support is the military facility deal between the respective armed forces of India and Dash. Answer France. Question number 53. Consider the following pairs which are correct. Leishmaniasis, sandflies. Sleeping sickness, tsetse flies. Yellow fever, Andes. Question number 54. Consider the following statement regarding embryo transfer technology. The first embryo transfer technology project in the country was initiated by NDDB. It, uh, it greatly reduces the risk for transmission of infectious diseases. Under the project, the first Buffalo calf of India from a frozen thawed embryo was born in the year 1991. The first embryo transfer technology project in the country was initiated by NDDB in 1987 by the establishment of Central ET Laboratory at Sabarmati Ashram Gaushala uh, by Daj through the use of ETT, embryo transfer technology. The farmer can get 5 to 6 fold increase in the number of offsprings. The calf so born will be of high genetic merit. The offsprings born will be free from diseases. Question number 55. Consider the following statement regarding Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons. Which statements are correct? It bans the use, threatened use, and production and development, stationing, and testing of nuclear weapons. Third one, it requires the provision of assistance to victim and remediation of the polluted land from the nuclear weapon use and testing. 69 nations did not vote among all of the weapon states, including India and all NATO members except the Netherlands. The Treaty on Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons or the Nuclear Weapon Ban Treaty is the first legally binding international agreement to comprehensively prohibit nuclear weapons with the ultimate goal being their total elimination. It was adopted on 7 July 2017, opened for signature on 20 September 2017 and entered into force on 22nd January 2021. 69 nations did not vote. Among them, all the nuclear weapon states, including India and all NATO members except the Netherlands. The treaty banned the use, threatened use, production, development, stationing, and testing of the nuclear weapons, forbid assistance with all prohibited activities, and requires the provision of assistance to victims and remediation of polluted land from nuclear weapons use and testing. Question number 56. Which of the following are fat soluble? Answer: vitamin A, vitamin K, vitamin E, and vitamin D. Vitamin B and C are water soluble. Question number 57. At the bottom of the most plastic containers, you can fill a small number inside the ninth three arrow triangle cycling symbol named as the recycling number. Consider the following statement regarding recycling number. The recycling number is a uniform way of classifying the different types of plastic. It aids recyclers in the sorting process. The recycling code is constituted of the number 1 through 7. 1. Polyethylene terephthalate. Soft drink bottles, mineral water, fruit juice container, cooking oil. Second one, HDPE, high density polyethylene. Milk jugs, cleaning agents, laundry detergents, bleaching agents, shampoo bottles, washing and shower soap. That is 3. PVC, polyvinyl chloride. Trays for sweets, fruits, plastic packing, bubble foil, and food foil to wrap the foodstuff. Fourth, low density polyethylene. Crushed bottle shopping bags, highly resistant snacks, and most the wrappings. 5. PP. Poly, Polypropylene. Furniture, consumer luggage, toys, as well as bumpers, lining, and external borders of the cars. 6. 1. PS. Polystyrene. Toys, hard packing, refrigerator trays, cosmetic bags, cosmetic jewelry, CD case, winding cups. 7th one, other. The other plastic including acrylic, polycarbonate, polyactic fibers, nylon, fiberglass. Question number 58. Consider the following statement. Bactericidal antibiotics inhibit cell wall synthesis. Bacteriostatic antibiotics limit the growth of bacteria by interfering with bacterial protein production. Question number 59. Consider the following statement with respect to Zika. The Zika is spread mostly by the bite of an infected Aedes species mosquito. Zika infection in pregnant women can lead to congenital defects in their newborn, namely microcephaly. There is currently no vaccine available for the Zika virus. Question number 60. Consider the following statement regarding hypersonic technology demonstrator vehicle HSTDV. It is indigenously developed by DRDO. The HSTDV is an unmanned scramjet allowing supersonic combustion demonstration vehicle. Question number 61. Consider the following statement. Marasmus is a disease of severe fasting due to prolonged intake and inadequate intake of macronutrients. Kwashiorkor is a disease that results from the prolonged inadequate intake of protein. Question number 62. Which of the following is correct about clubfoot? It is one of the most common orthopedic birth defects. Question number 63. Consider the following statements regarding Agni 5. It India's only intercontinental ballistic missile. Agni 5, India's only intercontinental ballistic missile. Agni 5 has a 5,000 km plus range with a view that its range can be easily extended to at least 8,000 km. The lethal missile is the third stage solid fluid missile and is configured to carry up to 10 multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles. The missile is 17.5 to 20 meter long, 2 to 2.2 meter wide, with a launch weight of 49,000 to 55,000 kg. The missile is carried by the road mobile truck, allowing the mobilization of the missile across the country easily. The missile has claimed to be tested more than 7 times before moving to user trial with the Army. Question number 64. Consider the following statement with respect to DNA. DNA profiling is the forensic technique used to identify individuals by the characteristic of their DNA. Question number 65. Consider the following statement regarding neural network. They are an artificial copy of the human brain. They have high computational rates than conventional computers. Question number 66. Consider the following statement regarding stromatolites. Stromatolites are microbial drifts created by cyanobacteria. Question number 67. Consider the following statement regarding seed mini kit program. The seed mini kit program was launched by Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar today by redistributing seed mini kits, higher yielding variety of seeds, to farmers. The seed mini kit program is a major tool for introducing new varieties of the seeds in the farmer's field and is instrumental in increasing the seed replacement rate. The mini kits are being provided by the central agencies National Seed Corporation and Gujarat State Seed Corporation and are wholly funded by the Government of India through National Food Security Mission. Question number 68. Consider the following statement regarding trans fat. They are desired as the vanaspati industry as they impart firmness to margarine and plasticity as well as emulsion stability to strong shortening. The trans fat decreases low density lipoprotein. Question number 69. Consider the following statement. Antigens are molecules capable of stimulating immune response. Each antigen has a distinct surface feature, resulting in specific response. Antibodies are Y-shaped proteins produced by B cells of the immune system in response to exposure to antigens. Question number 70. Consider the following statement regarding nitrogen. During the cycle, bacteria in the soil process or fix atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia, which plant needs in order to grow. The Haber-Bosch process is the method of directly synthesizing ammonia from hydrogen and nitrogen. Question number 71. Consider the following statement. Biofortification is the process by which nutritional quality of the food crops is improved through agronomic practice or genetic engineering. The first biofortified staple crop is golden rice was developed by 1999 to tackle vitamin A deficiency. Question number 72. Consider the following statement regarding vitamin C. It it also a cofactor in the synthesis of collagen. It has antioxidant properties. Question number 73. Consider the following pairs. Which of the pairs are correct? Gonadotropin, hypothalamus, thyroid stimulating hormone, pituitary gland, oxytocin, hypothalamus. Question number 74. Consider the following statement with respect to microbial fuel cell. Microbial fuel cell are a new bioelectrochemical process that aims to produce electricity by using electrons derived from biochemical reactions catalyzed by bacteria. Microbial fuel cell systems can be used for wastewater treatment. Question number 75. Consider the following statement with respect to totipotency. Totipotency is defined as ability of the cell to give rise to all cells types of an entire organism. Somatic cell nuclear transfer can confer totipotency. Question number 76. Which of the following are greenhouse gases? Perfluorocarbon, sulfur hexafluoride, hydrofluorocarbons. All are greenhouse gases. Question number 77. Consider the following statement regarding amino acids. Unlike fat and starch, human body does not store excess amino acids for later use. Question number 78. Consider the following statements regarding solid fuel ducted ramjet technology. It is used in developing missile. Question number 79. Consider the following statement. Pyrolysis technology is the complete combustion of waste with the recovery of heat to produce power through steam turbines. Incineration technology is the complete combustion of waste or refuse derived fuel with the recovery of heat to produce steam that in turn produces power through steam turbines. Question number 80. Consider the following statement regarding Bharat Stage 6 norms. The first emission norms was introduced in India in 1991 for petrol and in 1992 for diesel vehicles. As per BS B1 emission norms, petrol vehicles will have to effect as 25% reduction in their NOx or nitrogen oxide emission. Consider the following statements. CNG produced by compressing natural gas is less than 1% of its volume at standard atmospheric pressure. LNG is a natural gas in its liquid form. LNG is produced by purifying natural gas and supercooling it to minus 260 degree Fahrenheit to turn it into a liquid. Question number 82. Consider the following statements regarding virus. It can infect bacteria. It contains genetic material, DNA or RNA, and protein. Question number 83. Consider the following statement regarding CRISPR Cas9 technology can be used in treat HIV-1 or AIDS, treat cancer, overcome drug resistance. All the statements are correct. Question number 84. While metal barium is toxic, ingested barium sulfate is safe used in X-ray diagnosis of the colon. How this is possible? Barium sulfate is insoluble. Question number 84. Consider the following statements regarding 2G drug released by DRDO. It accumulates in virally infected cells only. Question number 86. Consider the following statement regarding Nuclear Energy Agency. Nuclear Energy Agency is an intergovernmental agency that facilitates cooperation among countries with advanced nuclear technology infrastructure to seek excellence in nuclear safety, technology, science, environment, and law. Question number 87. Consider the following statement regarding use of nuclear technology. Agriculture, purification of water, recycling of plastic. Question number 88. Consider the following statement. The New START Treaty is a bilateral treaty between India and Russia to reduce the number of their strategic offensive weapons and technology, including intercontinental ballistic missiles, submarine launched ballistic missiles launchers, and developed and non-deployed heavy equipped to carry nuclear armaments. Question number 89. Consider the following statement with respect to endosulfan. Endosulfan is the chlorinated hydrocarbon insecticide. Endosulfan is also xenoestrogen, a synthetic substance that imitates or enhances the effect of estrogen, and it can act as a endocrine disruptor, causing reproductive and fundamental damage in both animals and humans. Question number 90. Consider the following statement regarding monoclonal antibodies. Monoclonal antibodies are the identical immunoglobulin generated from the single B cell clone. This antibody recognizes unique epitopes and binding sites on a single antigen. Hybridoma development is one of the more traditional methods used to generate monoclonal antibodies, as it allows you to produce highly sensitive binders at an affordable price. Hybridoma technology was first developed in 1975 by George Coher and Cesar Milstein. Question number 91. What are similarities between mitosis and meiosis cell division? Both starts with diploid parent cell. Both consist of interphase, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Question number 92. Consider the following statement regarding green fungus. The fungus, however, is not communicable from one human to another or between animal to people. Green fungus or aspergillosis is a rare infection caused by common fawn species of fungi known as aspergillus. Most people breathe these fungal spores every day, both indoor and outdoor. There is approximately 180 species of aspergillus, but fewer than 40 of them are known to cause infection in humans. Question number 93. Consider the following statement regarding Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill 2020. The bill defines ART to include all techniques that seek to obtain a pregnancy by handling the sperm or the oocyte outside the human body and transferring the gamete and embryo into the reproductive system of the human. The ART bill provides for the national board with the powers vested in the civil code under the Code of Civil Procedure. Question number 94. Consider the following statement regarding the graded response action plan. The graded response action plan works only as an emergency measure. The graded response action plan is a set of institutional measures that are to be adopted when the air quality deteriorates in Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, and Rajasthan. Question number 95. Consider the following statements regarding Parley missile. The missile has the range of 150 to 500 km. DRDO has recently conducted maiden flight test of indigenous indigenously developed surface-to-surface missile Parley. Question number 96. Consider the following statement regarding Poshan Abhiyan or National Nutrition Mission. The goal of the NNM are to achieve improvement in the nutritional status of children from 0 to 6 years, adolescent girls, pregnant women, and lactating mother in the time-bound manner. The program aims to reduce the level of stunning, undernutrition, anemia, and low birth weight babies. Question number 97. Barak 8 air defense system was sold to India by which of the following countries? Answer: Israel. Question number 99. Maillard reaction, a non-enzymatic browning, is the phenomenon seen in proteins. Question number 99. Leigh syndrome is caused by mutation in mitochondria. Leigh syndrome is a rare inherited neurodegenerative condition. It usually becomes apparent in infancy, often after a viral infection. The inheritance of Leigh syndrome depends on whether the responsible gene is located in each case. This is because it can be due to mutation in either mitochondrial DNA or nuclear DNA. Question number 100. The rapid spreading of bread mold on the slice of bread is due to presence of moisture and nutrition.